before I started, I was probably a little bit apprehensive.
He actually said, I don't care where I'm going as long as it's not your team.
I did.
So you've been friends for, well, not forever.
Feels like it.
I think you were going to say that. I always say it's just because we were the only two people that spoke in the class. Everyone else was silent. And after that, it's like, oh, she talks a lot too.
Yeah.
I'll go with her.
So where did it all start then with you two? Welcome to Life at Next podcast, both. Nice to have you on.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice to be here.
Yeah, so you are Emil, who's a trainee buyer.
Correct.
Yeah? And Alyssa, who's a trainee merch. So a couple of trainees, yeah? Part of our early careers program.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah. So, before we get into it, for those that are listening, maybe not subscribed, come on, give us a subscribe, give us a like. It's going to be a really good episode. So let's dive right into it, shall we?
Yeah, let's go.
So why fashion buying and merch? Why have you both got into it?
Do you want to start?
Yeah, go on then. I think for me, it was just a really good mix of like the really creative side, like the product design and product development side, but also like a lot to do with sales and a lot to do with numbers and like how we can make money. And I think that just kind of married together two bits of me that I really like. And I think it was like they're quite balanced in both of them. And I think buying to me just does both so perfectly.
Yeah, reiterate a lot of like what Emil just said. It is combining like the commercial side with the creativity of the job and just marrying the two together. So it is really fun and no 2 days are the same, which I guess is a really good positive.
Keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
So what's better?
Merch.
I'm obviously going to
Wins
disagree.
quicker to it.
I'm obviously going to disagree. There's more for a buyer to think about, so it took me longer. No, I think both of them are great, to be diplomatic, but they have their different bits.
You couldn't
and bobs.
have one without the other.
Yeah, they are so dependent on each other that I couldn't do what I do without her, and vice versa. I would say.
And that's quite interesting that you've learned that, because I guess you're both into your next career quite soon then.
Yeah.
It's both interesting that you both said that. Is that quite evident from the off then, that buying and merch are like, all of product, the whole team, tech design as well.
Yeah.
It's all together. Without anyone, you can't really do it. Is that right?
Yeah, definitely. I think you realise really soon like how important everyone's role is to the team. And we were talking about it the other day that like if one isn't there in that kind of equation, that it just kind of...
It really doesn't work.
It all goes a bit apart.
We don't want that.
No.
We don't want that. So where did it all start then with you two? Like, so, 2 years ago, how long ago? When did it start? When did you apply?
Oh, it was a uni open day, wasn't it? And Next came into uni and sort of did a whole presentation on the early careers scheme and like the buying and merch jobs. And if you fancied it on the day, you could sort of submit your CV and do like a mini assessment centre at uni, which is how we both ended up applying, really.
So when you say both, so you're both at the same uni?
Yeah, we were.
Same
What?
Yeah.
Doing the same
Same
course?
uni, same
Exact
course.
same course. So we met on probably the first or second day of uni. I always say it's just because we were the only two people that spoke in the class. Everyone else was silent. And we were just the loud
deadly
mouths.
silent. Yeah, we were.
And after that, it's like, oh, she talks a lot too. I'll go with her.
And
So
4 years later, best friends, here we are.
Here we are.
So both went to the same uni?
Yeah.
Did you both then apply at the same time?
Yeah. We did a slight assessment centre together
Yeah,
at
we
uni
did an assessment centre at the same time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And then you both, based on the product, obviously people might have picked up already, you both work on menswear, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Same team?
Same team.
Opposite each other all
What?
day. Yeah.
What?
I know. You actually couldn't write it,
No,
could
you couldn't. I remember when we told our friends and I said, oh, Emil's joining my team. Everyone was like, you couldn't like predict it at all.
Literally.
And because that's interesting, isn't it? Like when you join the trainee program, you kind of, the rough area you're going to go in, but maybe not the exact team. So you said you were here first. So did you know what Emil was coming to your team?
No. So we were obviously talking before you joined and he was sort of saying, it got to about a week before your start date and he didn't know what team he was coming to and he kept messaging me being like, oh my God, I still don't know where I'm going. We knew he was coming to menswear. So I'm trying to like suss out on the floor, like who's getting a trainee buyer, where's there space for someone? And we sat down with my team and our trainee at the time got promoted and they were like, oh, we're getting a new trainee buyer. And I was like, is it who I think it is? Because I'd been telling my merch.
I want to add into this point though that she then knew for another day or so and wasn't allowed or didn't tell me.
I wasn't allowed to tell you.
So I've never quite forgiven her because I was there like, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? And she knew and she didn't say
like,
anything.
Oh my God, I know where he's going. But yeah, because I'd been telling my whole team that like, oh, my best friend's joining. Like, he doesn't know what team he's coming to. They're all sat there like, I wonder where he could be going. Like.
And how has that been like? I guess that's got to have some advantages because you must work with each other so closely, being buying and merch as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think before I started, I was probably a little bit apprehensive.
He actually said, I don't care where I'm going as long as it's not your team.
I did. But I only said that, which probably sounds really awful and really harsh. But I only said it because I was worried about like how intense it was going to be working together. But we were talking about it not long ago, and I actually think it's had such a positive impact, like in the adverse way I thought it might. It's like we just already kind of knew how each other worked and what we were like, and I just think it's been so much better. Like we know each other's workload, and we can leave work and we can have a talk about it on the way, and like I think it's so great that we actually end up working together so closely.
Yeah, it really is, and like other people have recognised that as well, because they sort of said to us, oh, we were a bit apprehensive, you know, you two being friends and going on the same team, but everyone's recognised how well we actually do work together because of it.
Because I did play it down a little bit because I'd come to the office a few months before and said, oh, my friend started. Not saying like she's my best friend and like I know everything about her. It's like, so I think they didn't quite realise just quite how friends we were. But
well, credit to you both though.
Yeah.
You made that work, and you know you've kept it like. You've been able to apply the strengths of your friendship to work, you know, because like you say, I guess you could have easily been like, oh, it's just been like back at uni, you know, but I guess it's way different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is it different to uni?
Yeah, it's so different. Yeah,
what's the biggest thing, do you reckon?
I'd say managing workload and like finding time to do everything, because stuff gets thrown at you straight there and then. It needs to be done the next hour. Like you've got to be able to rearrange your day, I guess, and manage what you've got coming up. So that's definitely, whereas at uni it was so regimented, like you had your lectures, you knew when your deadlines were, like you had time to prepare, whereas come to work, stuff just changes all the time.
I'd say as well, we have to manage, like, not manage everyone else's, but think about everyone else's workload and like the way they work as well. And I feel like, and at uni it's a lot more just like you and yours, whereas here you've got to think about the team and if that's going to fit into their diary and if they're going to be able to help you with that work and whatnot. So I think you have to think a lot more collaboratively here as well.
I totally agree with that. I think the collaboration across the whole business, it's something I think surprises people as well, for the size as well of the business. You kind of have to, you've got to think quite broadly at times. Yeah, you've got to do what you've got to do and be really, really good at it. But at the same time, think, oh, okay, actually, this could benefit that team, or let's get that team involved. You know, it's something that's, you know, a massive, massive quality. So you've been friends for, well, not forever.
Feels like it.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Then. Let you have that one.
And did you? Because I guess you both came at Manchester. Great advert for Manchester.
Yeah.
Manchester Met, was it?
Great uni.
Yeah. Did you both move into Trainee House as well then?
Yeah, we did.
Oh, how was that?
We were lived next door in the Trainee House.
Next door neighbours as well.
Yeah, we were.
What? Yeah. You don't live together now?
Not anymore. We did.
No.
It was great. It was so much fun. I think it's such a nice experience when you come to a city that, you know, you're not all that familiar with, that you actually have somewhere where almost everyone's in the same boat as you as well. It's like quite a nice feeling, and it was made nicer that Alyssa was there as well.
Yeah, 100%. It must be nice and reassuring that you've got someone there that knows you.
Yeah.
Because I guess moving to a new city can be pretty daunting.
Yeah.
I guess neither of you from the local area originally?
No, not from Leicester, but the Trainee House definitely made moving to Leicester a lot easier. Because I moved in a month before you did, so I didn't have anyone at that time. But there's so many people you live with, and everyone's in the same boat, relatively new. So it's really easy to make friends when you do move in.
And you just see them all around now. You're like, oh, lived with you 6 months ago.
Is that weird?
It's really weird. It's
so
really
weird.
weird.
It's like you've like been making pasta with them, and then you probably don't see them for like 4 months. They're like, oh, hello.
Yeah, then someone's like, how do you know them? It's like, oh, I used to live with them, and they look at you a bit like, okay.
Yeah, that is, it's like, oh, still eating that pesto pasta. Yeah. No, that is weird. And going back to like more work, like what do you reckon so far has been a bit of a project highlight or a massive win for you guys? What have you really enjoyed so far in the first 10 months?
I don't know. I think there's so
Ooh,
many.
got you
There's
there.
so many, yeah.
I think for me at the minute, it's doing more to do with our edit line, which is
Nice.
like
What's that?
It's like, so it's a part of menswear that focuses on a slightly more younger contemporary man and like a different customer profile that we felt like we were kind of missing before. And I've been given a little bit more ownership of that as a team, as of you from like the merch side. So I think for me at the minute, that's what I'm kind of most proud of, which should be kind of going out over the next few months, which is going to be really exciting because they've kind of given it a bit of like a reboost and a rebrand.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And sort of the stuff that is coming soon with Edit is like really cool. That younger sort of trendier customer that the Edit is aimed for, really. So it is exciting that, like you said, I've had more merch ownership of that when that comes to life, it'll be really interesting to see.
Yeah, nice. And is that you mentioned there, like customers wearing it? Is that what motivates you both, would you say? Or
it is really cool. Like if you go out, like you can be anywhere and you'll see someone. I'll say to like my mum or someone, I'll be like, oh, he's got Next jeans on, like. And it is such a weird reality when you think of how big like the business is.
Massive.
Yeah.
And how many people wear jeans? It's like, and
Yeah,
I can spot the ones that we've had something to do with. I'm like, I know they're Next ones.
That's a bit of a skill, right?
Yeah.
To be like Next.
Yeah,
Next.
literally. But it is one of the things that motivates me, I think, especially.
Yeah.
And like when we get like emails about like TikTok feedback, like I remember
Yeah,
one
we had that TikTok that went really well, yeah.
It did really well. I don't want to say viral, but it did well.
Slightly viral.
Yeah, it did well. And just like seeing the comments about
Yeah.
people and it was a lot of people that were like, I'm going to go into Next because of this. I want to go and see what they've
way.
got
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And it's like, it feels like we're bringing new people in to like shop at Next, which was a good feeling. So stuff like that definitely motivates me.
Yeah, definitely.
And you mentioned there around how you're part of the team, and that's been great as well. How's the team kind of really like brought you into Next? Have they had an impact on you since you've joined?
Yeah,
Massively.
they definitely have. Like, I always joke and say, like, we've got the best team on the floor. Like, I know everyone would say that, but our team is such, like, we sit at lunch and we'll have such a laugh together. Like, the team has been really welcoming. Everyone's so helpful if you do need it. And we've got 2 big departments, casual trousers and denim, so workload's really high yet. If you ask for help, that it is there. So everyone, the team is really nice.
Yeah, and I think we're as a team, we're good at kind of going between that really focused mode where we've got deadlines or we've got a selection meeting coming up where it's all go, 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 to having those moments within the day or at lunch where we're just like, have a right laugh and have a little kind of conversation or talk about what we've watched on TV and stuff like that. And I think that's what makes it so much fun. It's like we know when we've got to get stuff done and get the job done, but we also know like when we can have a bit of a laugh and a bit of a talk as well.
And has it just been the team that's kind of helped you prepare like going through the trainee scheme, or has there been any support outside of it as well? Because I know we do a really good job here of a trainee program, don't we? What's that been like?
I think it's been really good. I think you know where they are when you need the help. I think it's a really good balance. Whereas if you feel like you're doing well and you're feeling really confident that they're there, but if something does happen and you feel like you need a little bit more support, they're there. And then like they have your check-ins with them, and then you have your like training sessions, which are really good, where you come together with a lot of different trainees. So that's really interesting. And I think they know what, it's very clear that they really know what they're doing.
Yeah, and definitely like the 3, 6, 9, 12, like the chat list as well that they have.
What's that? Sorry, 3, 6, 9.
There's one for trainee. There's one for trainee merchant buyers. And so it's sort of like every deadline, like 3 months, 6 months, 9 months of like what you should be doing at those stages, and you sort of sit through those with your manager, and that's really good to sort of know that you are on track or know what you need to improve. So the whole trainee program is really well thought out and I guess really good.
And I guess going back to your point earlier around how you've gone from such an environment of structure and kind of those deadlines, for that to sort of continue in a way while have that work must be really helpful and familiar, because you're like, okay, I know this, as long as you're good at meeting deadlines.
I like to think so.
But that is really good that you get that level of support, that's for sure. Should we try something a little bit different now then?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So it's this and that. We've tried it on a few previous episodes, so it's a bit new. I'll just quick fire and let's see how this goes with 2 of you. So strap in. So who's always on time?
Me.
Yeah, definitely. I'm always late.
Alyssa
You're my best friend. I love it. I love it.
I'm always here before Alyssa.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah, you're always
Yes.
late. I'm not late, but I'm not an early bird.
Yeah, I love being on time. Love it. Who's got the most patience?
I think me.
Say me. I would say me. I think we're patient people.
Yeah. Okay. Who's the funniest?
Me? No.
Ooh.
I think, and I only say this because of outside, we've had a quiz where we ranked who was funniest, and I won. I didn't just beat Alyssa,
For context.
I won the whole thing.
There was 4 people in this quiz.
4 people.
4 people.
Yeah, but I still won.
Wins a win.
Yeah.
A win's a win. Who's got the best fashion taste?
Me?
Ooh, I'll give you that you have good fashion taste. I'll give you.
You do as
I'd say
well,
we've
though,
both,
yeah.
but yours is very good.
Who takes longer at lunch?
Are you talking to eat your lunch or just lunch?
Eat. Let's say eat.
I'd say you just because you talk more.
Yeah.
So she's like, have a mouthful of food and then she'll just go to talking for the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'll talk for the
I'm
whole
the
of
quiet.
lunch.
Believe it or not, I am the quieter one out of the two of us.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Who's always always the first one to kind of go, yeah, I'll do that. Like, who's the first one to kind of seize the opportunity?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it depends what it is.
Yeah, I think it
So
depends
if it
what
was
it
in
is.
your respective field, so say your merch came to you and was like, or your merch came back, or or they both came back and they were like, look, we've got this. Who's going to be like, yeah, we can solve that, yeah? Or is it kind of you both go, right, this is an
Yeah, I
opportunity
think
for us
we're
both?
we're quite
Yeah.
equal on that we'd probably...
I think together, especially, we'd
Yeah,
be like,
if they give it to us together,
Yeah,
we're like,
we'll do
we'll
it.
do it now.
Who's more likely to kind of set the meeting agenda and set the tone for the meeting?
you.
Yeah, I think...
Oh, more organised.
Yeah, I would say I like an agenda to a meeting, and I like
an
a
agenda.
structure. Everyone will be talking. I'm like, right, what are we doing? Like,
Yeah.
these are the points we want to get through.
And I'll be the one talking.
And she's the distractor.
And on the last one, who's the better housemate then? Because you live together.
I'll say Alyssa is the better housemate
you?
because she's a good cook, and
I
she
am a
would always
great
cook for me.
Yeah.
Are
I
you?
would. Yeah.
She's a very
Oh,
good cook.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a good skill. That's a good skill.
I'll cook but not wash up, so.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
It's all right if you've got a dishwasher.
Which the trainee house had, so.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then looking ahead, what kind of things are you looking forward to? You know, now you've been here 10 months, you've really got your teeth into, life at Next and everything that kind of comes with. What are you both looking forward to in the future?
I think just seeing where the role can take us over, in the short term, the next few months, we're 9-10 months into it now. So I think just seeing how much more progression is still in it for us. I feel like we've still got, we were literally talking about this earlier, we feel like we've still got so much to learn and so much to go after and so much to do. And just kind of seeing how the role will evolve to the point where you are talking about promotions and you're ready for that. And then I think longer term is just everything that is now in the range, we've kind of pretty much almost seen from start to finish.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, because I started at the very start of spring, summer 25 when they were range building it, and now that's all going into store. So it feels like we can have true ownership because we really do know everything about what's actually in store or what's selling online now.
Yeah. And I think it'd be really interesting to see where you go, eventually we may move teams, if we get
imagine
split
that.
up.
Imagine the day.
That's we
Imagine the
always say that.
day.
It's you can't split us up.
Imagine the day.
It comes
I
as a
know.
package deal.
Yeah.
No, but I think really interesting, if either of us to move teams, where we'd go and how that would be for both of us. And just the business, how the business goes sort of internationally, where we're going to go, and that side of it as well, I think will be really interesting longer term.
Sounds like a lot of growth on your mind then for the pair of you, which is
Yeah,
great.
I'd say so.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is great because, like you said, there's so much opportunity here at the moment. There's so much growth internationally, and even with the Next brand, it's still growing and growing. And if you're going to give, hopefully there's some trainees or potential trainees listening to this and thinking, oh, I live with, we live together. We're doing fashion. We're at uni. Should we apply? What advice would you give them?
I'd just say to do it. I think
Yeah,
it's so
just do
much
it,
fun.
yeah.
I think, like you said earlier, no 2 days are the same. It's just jump in and if you've got a best friend to do it with, even better.
Convince your best friend.
Convince your best friend to come with you because it's a bit of a laugh sometimes.
Yeah.
So it is really fun.
Cool. Well, thank you both for coming on. It's been great having you. If you've enjoyed this episode, everyone, please like and subscribe. It's been a great chat. And again, thanks for coming on the Life at Next podcast.